Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we have something a little bit different, something highly technical, and this is for my intermediate to upper level techs. You guys might learn something today because I'm going to show you something that a lot of upper tier techs don't even know. So obviously we have a typical power supply here, and we got a bunch of multicolored wires, and if you guys already know what the voltages are across these wires, well, you think you might know everything about power supplies. Well, you might learn something today. So, you see this green wire right here. Any of you ever done car stereos, you're familiar with what's known as the remote wire. This is the remote wire of the power supply. This wire also, this wire also controls turning this power supply on. So let's go ahead and plug this thing in, and I will show you how to turn on a power supply with a paperclip. Alright, so we have it plugged in. We have the power indication light is on. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There we go. Because the flash is on. The fan in here is not turning. We just have live power, and the power supply is standing by waiting for instructions. So I've already gone the liberty of unbending this. Any kind of conductive material will work. And what you do is you go over here and you jumper the green wire to any of these black wires, any of these grounds. Alright? And as long as that is jumpered, the power supply will supply power. The 12 volt rail, the 3.3, etc. So let's go ahead and get that stuck in there. Just as a check, make sure you peel back the plastic coating that is around the paper clip. These are apparently, high-dollar paper clips, so they come with plastic shielding. We have jumpered the green wire to one of the grounds. It has to stay in there. And as you notice, the fan is now spinning because the power supply is now supplying voltage to the rails. Just to prove it, we have a voltmeter here. This is the 12 volt rail for the CPU, which means these yellow wires are 12 volt positive and the black are grounds. So if we touch the ground, oh my goodness, I gotta do this one-handedly. You're kidding! For my next trick, get these in here without touching them. So we have it jumpered, negative to negative to positive, and we're getting 12 volts because the power supply is told to be turned on. Now, just to prove my point, I'm going to pull this paper clip out. Yes, you can touch this. This doesn't hurt anything. You're not going to get shocked or anything. Pull the paper clip out, and the power supply is powering down, which is slowly draining the voltage. Should eventually all the way go down to 0. So, there's one use of a paper clip. Stay tuned, we've got more. We have the CD drive. It's not an old one. It's new technology. Okay? Well, CD drives in general are old, but still. The computer's powered off, and there's a disk in this. How do we get this open? We can't get our fingernails in here to get this open. Right? Alright. Well, guess what? You see that little hole right there? And drop the paper clip. You stick a paper clip in there. Stick a paper clip in the hole. Okay? And we push straight down. It's the emergency release hatch. And the CD drive comes out. Take your paper clip out. CD drive goes right back down. Latches. No harm, no foul. Here, let's show that again. All I did was push the paper clip down. There's your disc if it was in there. And just close it and make sure it latches. Good to go. Here's the second use of a paper clip. Alrighty, here is the third use of a paper clip. So you have your motherboard here. You have your wire coming from your power switch in the front of the system. Okay, as you guys know, you have your power switch, your reset switch, you have your hard drive LEDs, etc. Alright, so once you figure out which wire is your power switch, pull that off. And for this model, focus, this wire and this wire are the two power switch wires. And if you have your power supply hooked in and you need to jump start your motherboard without the power button, your power button fails. This is how you diagnose a failed power button, is you cross something conductive in between that pin and that pin. A little bit closer. There we go. In between that pin and that pin. Cross those two pins and the computer will come on. It'll just start right up. And focus. There we go. We're going to show you that here in a second. Alrighty, so we've got our power supply hooked in. Alright, I'm going to take a pair of tweezers. They're still metal. They're still conductive. And what I'm going to do, switch hands here, is I want to go down here. Now notice the CPU fan's not spinning. And I'm just going to pinch those two wires. And voila! You have just basically jumped the motherboard. You've done the same thing that switch would have done, is cross the terminals up there, except you've done it at the board, and you've taken the wires out. So there's some advice for you if you ever get into a troubleshooting situation where you think that the power switch is actually on. Jump right on the board, and if it comes on and it boots, if it has a hard drive in it, etc., well then you know the power switch is done and that it needs to be replaced. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed those tips. Some pretty advanced tips. If you ever find yourself in those situations, good luck. But I've been doing this for almost 10 years now, and I've only been in those exact situations 3, 4 maybe times. Okay, so keep your hats on and good luck.